I'm pretty sure after watching this video that B-Borp is going to come down from outer space and rob all of us and our bikes.
Y'all be capped out. Y'all be like, Spayho gonna suck your tentacle. You know what I mean? That shit out the muscle. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, as B-Borp is coming, as some people are declaring this PSYOP, as Alex Jones had some very interesting comments made about the new changes to color and acceleration of 30i Atlas. What in the world is going on here? Of course, we got new findings as NASA is directly responding to Kim Kardashian while ignoring members of Congress and scientists. Yep, you heard that correctly. All of this as Congresswoman MTG has come out and says, hey, you know these UFOs that we're experiencing? They're probably fallen angels, and she's probably not wrong. As of course, there's a lot of serious consideration and talk about interdimensional beings, demons, angels, spirits, creatures that are other forms of intelligence that live among us interdimensionally in other types of energetic fields that we are not privy to or cannot sense or see. What in the world's going on here is, of course, we got a big rabbit hole to go down into, and we're going to go down into it in this particular YouTube channel. If you appreciate these types of conversations, subscribe, click the notification button, as, of course, we greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us on this particular YouTube channel. Now, it looks like there are some studies and findings coming out of 30i Atlas that are highlighting, hey, there could have been some propulsion. There could have been some speeding up of what a lot of people, mainline scientists, believe to be comet. Other people believe there's a potential for this to be some kind of space alien craft. It also appears that this comet object became bluer and became a little bit brighter. As Alex Jones responded to all of this by playing an interview of Avi Lebov, the Harvard scientist that has been the biggest kind of proponent of pushing this potential comet theory by saying, this is a fake alien invasion that's here, question mark. And then he went on and said this on his show.
Trajectories or orbits. And constantly we have different Harvard scientists and others coming out telling us that they all might be alien spaceships.
Now, Harvard, it's pretty much the institution with a lot of big connections to the CIA, Larry Summers, a lot of neoliberal kind of globalist think tanks, as well as Epstein. Epstein had his own office hours that he was able to get children and teenagers to go into, which Harvard hasn't explained. What kind of scientific experiments was Epstein working on with Harvard? Some people say anti-gravity type of tech. As also he was talking with Russia, advising big banks about their kind of strategic moves with China. Interesting type of maneuver. As of course, anything coming from Harvard, I think automatically should be met with some skepticism. Now, is Avi Lebov someone not to be trusted? Well, a lot of people say he has taken a lot of reputational risk. A lot of people believe that he has been discredited. Now, I like scientists taking risks and talking about the theoretical, which he has done so. And personally, I haven't seen any kind of convincing evidence that this is a PSYOP. As of course, some people were asking these questions after circumstantial evidence that Alex Jones breaks down.
So now we have Harvard physicist Avi Loeb coming out on Fox today and saying, first it had a comet tail the wrong direction towards the sun, and now it showed evidence of acceleration outside of the gravitational pull of the sun, and so this is an alien. And we had whistleblowers from the government 6 months ago saying, it's coming, it's going to get us. This has all the hallmarks of a blue beam fake alien invasion hype. I'm not sure what's going on, but the establishment is pushing this big time. Here's the Fox News report. Tell me what you think below.
Professor Loeb, thanks for being with us here today. You have been the most legitimate voice, the most renowned or credible voice in pointing out this has some high probability of being something other than a deep space comet. I believe, Professor, you gave it a 40% probability before this latest evidence. Let's talk about what this evidence is. A blue tail and a change in pace.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Indeed, I did a calculation that indicated that in order for it to accelerate in the way that it did recently, it must have, if it's a natural comet, it must have lost a substantial fraction of its mass of all
And sometimes that does happen when comets go around the sun or get close to the sun, by the way.
the 20% or so. And we should see a very massive cloud of gas around it as soon as it comes out of the being hidden behind the sun. That should weigh of order 5 billion tons of gas around it. If we don't see that, there must have been some other means of propulsion that gave it that acceleration. So that's very exciting. You know, it's sort of like going on a blind date and wondering who is on the other side. And, you know, it could be a rock. Maybe that's the most likely interpretation. But we should be open-minded. We should be humble because it's an opportunity to learn something new.
Yeah, as far as like the open-mindedness, some people say, you're too open-minded. I don't think that's possible. And I think he has been intellectually kind of sound and honest, being like, look, probably, maybe, I don't know, 40%, we'll see, give us the data. And the data is not being given by NASA as they're directly responding to Kim Kardashian about this.
Okay, so it has picked up speed, and you're telling me that is either because it has some alternate source of propulsion other than gravitational pull, or it has an engine. And if it does not have an engine, you're suggesting it should have been shedding size. That's the only way it would have picked up speed. So if it hasn't
Right.
shedded size, essentially it's got an engine, and therefore it's alien?
Well, yeah, that would be a very interesting possibility. But the cloud of gas that it should have shed, you know, it's a significant fraction of its mass. So it was obliterated by the sunlight in that case. And we should see that the object is losing a lot of mass into a cloud of gas. That's easy to spot with all our telescopes. You know, we have hundreds of them around the globe. So within a few weeks, we will be able to tell. That's what makes it exciting.
But the government is shut down, and they're not providing any of the data. As Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna has been urging Secretary Duffy to release the 30i Atlas images. When 30i Atlas was closest to Mars, there was NASA attack, allegedly, that took close-up photos of 30i Atlas. Those images, the data, the photos, the government's like, meh. Do you want it? Sorry, we're too busy. Tweeting at celebrities here. Actual true story. As of course, the NASA administrator, Sean Duffy, says that there were images captured by the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter on October 2nd and 3rd. Okay, you got all this theoretical stuff, all this like, hey, maybe possibly. Give the data to scientists. As of course, why haven't they? And a lot of people are saying, well, it's because they're shut down, they don't want to work. And I'm saying, hey, this is of key importance. Go into the office, get your butt to work. You're probably going to be recouped for your payment, and then release it. And the NASA acting director literally responded to Kim Kardashian as Kim Kardashian says, wait, what's the T on 3i Atlas? And then this guy responded.
Just a couple of
Sean Duffy responded saying, great question. NASA's observation shows that this is the third interstellar comet to pass through our solar system. No aliens. No threat to life here on Earth. 3 equals the third. I, interstellar, meaning from beyond our solar system. Atlas, discovered by our asteroid. And like, hey, do you want to believe NASA face value talking to Kim Kardashian? No. Show us the data.
days ago, Kim Kardashian asked a question about 3i Atlas and directed it to the acting administrator of NASA, Sean Duffy, and he immediately tweeted a reply in which he explained 3i Atlas and so forth. But on the same day, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna sent a letter to Sean Duffy.
Yeah, what are you doing, Sean? Now, before playing the MTG Demons interdimensional type of fallen angel conversation, which is also biblical, just really quickly, we wanted to remind you to sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. This is the way that we pay the bills around here. This is the way that we exist. We've been doing this for over 21 years, and we haven't been able to do it if it wasn't for your direct support and participation. One easy, quick way to do it is to click the link down in the description below. 20 cents a day, $8 a month, and you get 3 masterclasses. You get access to me directly through the Telegram chat, which I'm going to be going into right after this video. We're going to be talking together. We're going to be doing Q&As together. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff as you get 13 plus years of videos centered around helping you become the best, strongest, most amazing version of yourself. LukeUnfiltered.com, 20 cents a day, doesn't really cost anything. Lattes don't even cost $8 a month anymore. It's super quick, it's super simple, and it's a great way to just tip. Like, I know tipping culture is insane and stupid and ridiculous, but if you like what we do and you want to see us do it more, you want to kind of invest in us, this is the quick and easy and cheap kind of affordable way to do it. If you can't afford it, we get it, totally understand it. But I'd rather, a lot of other creators are like, yeah, special lobbyists, give me money, I'll shill for you all these horrible things. Or they're like, hey, country, I'll promote your country. And I'm like, I don't want to do all that. We're bought and paid for it by you, and that's how we prefer to be, rather than any kind of special interest group. Now let's get back to this video, because I find it interesting that a lot of the rumors could be dispelled, but the government seems to be hiding information that spurs on more conspiracy theories, that spreads more speculation, that spreads more fear and uncertainty, rather than actually working for the American taxpayer. I pay way too much gosh darn taxes, especially this year. Oh, pretty much. It's insane. I pay way too much taxes for the government to come at me and be like, yeah, we got all this data, we got some information. Yeah, we're just going to keep it to ourselves. Screw you, general public. And I'm like, that's my money.
Asking NASA to release this data that is being held for over a month. No response so far. When I approached the principal investigator of HiRise, no response. It doesn't make much sense for the politics of the day to sabotage the progress of science. We need this data in order to plan future observations of the object.
I hear it, and I did not expect that the clear path forward would be getting Kim Kardashian to maybe ask this question on your behalf and on our behalf to try to get some answers.
My complaint is more about the fact that there was an immediate response to her, but no response.
I hear that. I mean, what?
No response to Congress or professors. And again, do you trust NASA here? Well, they can't even provide the data. Like, what? Like, hello? Excuse me? NASA guy. And this is one of the reasons why there are serious talks and conversations right now happening about this, just eliminating all of NASA. It's like, why? Private contractors will do it. That's how the intel agencies run now, too. The intel agencies are just kind of shells that hire contractors to do all of their illegal dirty work. Now, MTG was recently on the Bill Maher show, and I thought she had something very interesting to say, especially when it comes to this UFO topic, as she's talking about how she believes a lot of them are fallen angels. And there is a lot of biblical type of references and philosophies that do explain this type of thinking, and this is something that, listen, people were saying, it's crazy, it's wild. Well, is it? Specifically with just how wild and crazy the world is, just how wild and crazy the world works?
I think people deserve to know the truth about it.
There was a hearing recently, right? Both of them are in the movie.
Yeah.
And a lot more came out. And there's a lot more people who are on board now. Very, very serious people.
I think it's a serious issue. Yeah, I'd love to know more about it, but we're not told anything about it.
In the film, one of the senior intelligence officials named Jay Stratton, he was the director of Air and Space Warfare at the Defense Intelligence Agency, and then he ran the U.S. government's UAP task force. He tells a story about how he was trying to run this issue up the flagpole and bring attention to it.
At the Pentagon.
At the Pentagon, in a serious office space. And his superiors told him that they thought these things were demons and that he was doing the devil's work by looking into it. And
the devil's work. As of course, Tucker Carlson previously came out and said the U.S. government has partnerships and relationships with interdimensional beings, some of them that he believes are demons, and that they have an ongoing kind of working partnership with them. What does that mean? Listen, I think this is worth at least pontificating about.
On camera in the film, he says, I can't believe these words were coming out of their mouths. He's like, I'm briefing them on an advanced aerospace vehicle that's absolutely there. It's been spotted by trained observers like our Navy fighter pilots in their $80 million airplanes that we trust them with, right? It's been spotted on data collection systems like satellite and radar. And this guy's telling me it's a demon. It's insane. And he's like, my mind was blown, and this is something I'm dealing with inside of the government.
It's Halloween. Let me just ask the final question for the panel. Do you think demons and the devil are real?
Absolutely. I'm a Bible-believing Christian. I definitely, and I believe those could be fallen angels.
All these things could be real.
Fallen angels?
Yeah,
The
fallen angels.
aliens are fallen angels.
That's possible. I think that's what they could be. That's what makes sense in my worldview.
Yep. Listen, everyone is entitled to their opinions and perspectives, but when we talk about the kind of spiritual unknown, when we talk about religious theory and doctrine and understanding, there's a lot to back up a lot of these theories. Now, of course, a lot of it is kind of theoretical, but what if it's true? And I think we should always come from that type of perspective. What if what we're seeing and understanding is this kind of interdimensional world that we don't understand? Now, of course, there are going to be some people that mock MTG. As The Guardian writes, MTG tells Bill Maher she believes in extraterrestrial demons. And, of course, there's going to be ways to demonize her. And again, she's like, oh, yeah, Rothschild, space laser, Jewish space. And I'm like, come on. Now, listen. There's a lot of things, especially in this worldly plane, that cannot be explained by modern science. Whether it's the placebo effect, whether it's the power of our mind, there is also a lot of science that hasn't fully been delved into, that fully explains, hey, there's something bigger, there's something deeper going on here in our forms of existence that cannot just be easily quantified and just excused as coincidental, as accidental. There are phenomenons that are wild, that are weird, that do not add up, that do not make sense, that are just crazy woo-woo out there strange, that make your crazy local granola-eating hippie look like the same person. Now, what do you make of 30I Atlas? As the James Webb Space Telescope reveals, that now there's a dense radiation-hardened crust formed by, quote, 1 billion years of cosmic ray exposure with the object that is 30I Atlas, that is at least 7 billion years old. I find that very interesting. Now, we look into the CIA, right? They have been doing a lot of experiments. They have been doing a lot of weird type of juju stuff, specifically when it comes to astral projection, specifically when it comes to a lot of their kind of more stranger programs out there. As a lot of people are saying, you know, it's not out of these world type of entities that we're dealing with here. It is advanced government tech. And I think that also is a plausible type of explanation here when it comes to understanding what's going on here, as there's a lot of ultra secret type of tech out there. Some people have come to the conclusion that a lot of this secret tech is free energy type of technology that, if released to the general public, would upend our modern day of living and create a scenario and situation where vast majority of people would be freed, relinquished of this current debt-based, resourced, scarcity type of economic form of, I would say, quasi-communistic forms of economics that we're all currently under. Now, if we have free energy, imagine the type of stuff that humanity could achieve, that could be unleashed, that could be freed. Of course, there would be major disruption, major changes, and there would be major transfers of wealth. Major transfers of wealth that a lot of people who hold that wealth wouldn't want to happen. And now I leave you with this kind of ultimate question. What do you think's going on here? Now, there's the 30i Atlas. There's also the drones that have flown over New Jersey last year that are now flying over Europe. That previously, before flying over New Jersey, were also flying over Japan. There's all these like weird type of experiences, and it kind of leaves you with three major type of understandings. One, aliens from outer space. Two, interdimensional beings that are amongst us in different kind of energetic realms that we cannot explain, fallen angels. Three, advanced U.S. tech. Which one of these things do you think is the most reliable, the most honest when it comes to understanding what's really going on here? 1, 2, or 3? Let me know down in the comment section below. Let's start that conversation. I think that conversation is worth having because I think that conversation is fascinating. Do I think MTG is crazy? No, I think she's actually a little bit more onto it than a lot of other people are. And when you start to speak bigger truths in society, you start to get ridiculed. And I think that's why she is being as ridiculed as she is personally, in my own personal opinion. Thank you for signing up to LookunFilter.com. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. I'll hear exclusively on YouTube.com/WeAre.